Hello there you guys, welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current latest transfer rumours and gossip. So big breaking news now, it's coming out of media. I might have mentioned this on one of my videos earlier on. So reportedly now, Emery has come out in the media and he potentially said he wants to he wants to sell Mesut Ozil to raise some funds, at Arsenal Football Club, as we all know, because potentially, as I did say to you guys, that Ozil has been out of favour this season. He's failed to adapt himself under Unai. He's failed to establish himself under Unai this season as Mesut Ozil. But potentially, as I did say, he's suffered quite a couple of injuries this season. He's missed key games this season as well. Missed the West Ham game, as well, after, last week after training all week, I think last week as well. So he didn't play in the West Ham game and he wasn't in contention, as we all currently know. But Unai has been coming out saying in the media that obviously he's identified two key areas where he wants to strengthen up in the Arsenal squad. So potentially he wants a central defender and he wants a winger as well, because potentially Arsenal have got injury problems at the moment. Potentially, fans, obviously we want what's his name, Stan Kroenke out of the club because he's not investing any money into the club. And I did say, potentially Arsenal haven't been getting the right amount of funds, to spend on currently, players they want. They didn't get it under Wenger. They haven't got it under Unai so far, and I don't think, they've that's the manager enough. But I said that club was in state, when Ivan Gazidis left and when Arsene Wenger left after 2 years of managing, that club was left in a total state. Unai did get 5 players last summer, and Aubameyang and Lacazette, have been doing very well so far. They've been leading the lines, they've been scoring, quite a lot of goals, for Arsenal this season. But they need more in the team. They need a central defender and they need a winger as well. But he's been coming out in the press saying, Unai, that Arsenal can only afford loan signings, as he has been suggesting now. He said Arsenal can only afford loan signings, and he potentially ruled out Arsenal making any permanent signings just for this January window, I think. And he's ruled out making a permanent move for Denis Suarez, which is potentially an Arsenal target, as we all know. But Mesut Ozil, obviously Arsenal have got, quite a few players, quite a few average players, that are on, big contracts. Average players that are on big contracts. They've got Ozil there potentially, who's out of favour now at the club. As we all know, he's on £350,000 a week. I think potentially he's initially their highest paid player at Arsenal, and he hasn't adapted himself this season. He is age now 30, as I said, but he's been good at Arsenal since he's been at Arsenal. You were good under Arsene Wenger with Mesut Ozil, and Arsenal know how much of a central player he is. But since Unai's come in, he struggled for consistency, he struggled to find his form. And, potentially he hasn't been getting the game time that he'd currently want, because he's had injury problems as well in between, as Mesut Ozil as well. Because obviously he signed this contract in 2017, didn't he? This new contract with £350,000 a week. There has been a few teams actually interested in Mesut Ozil, because I think, we were linked to him before? I think we were linked to him, last year. I think at one point as well, Manchester United were linked to him. And, there's been a few teams that have been monitoring the situation, regarding Mesut Ozil. And as I did say to you guys, his future is very uncertain at Arsenal Football Club. But now Unai has come out in the media and said he wants to sell Ozil, to potentially raise some funds, because potentially he probably wants to buy players in this January window. This is why potentially he wants to, sanction Ozil off, raise some money, and maybe get a signing or two with that money, they get for Mesut Ozil. Because obviously Arsenal are going to recommend a fee for him, because obviously he's got a £350,000 a week contract he signed back in 2017. As I currently said, so obviously they want to try and raise some funds so they can get some, to buy some players in this January window. But, essentially he confirmed he won't be buying in this January window, as he said earlier, I think he said it last week at some point, Arsenal can only afford loan signings. But they've got a lot of problems in their team, that do need addressing, as I currently said. And potentially they know Aaron Ramsey's going to be going as well, so they're going to have to find a potential replacement for Aaron Ramsey. Reportedly he was undergoing his medical, I think some of it was in London, and I think he's due to have some of it in Chervin as well, something like that. Potentially he's joining Juventus, that is confirmed. Whether it's going to be in this January window, whether it's going to be in this January window or whether it's going to be in the summer when his contract expires, I do not know. But I think, from Juventus' perspective, they're keen on actually getting him in this January transfer window. And reports from Italy, were actually stemming from the Italian press that reported that they're willing to offer Mehdi Benatia in exchange for Aaron Ramsey. So reportedly they're willing to offer Mehdi Benatia to Arsenal. So they could get Aaron Ramsey in this January window rather than wait for him until the summer. But reports have been coming out of the press that Arsenal are recommending that they want an £18 million fee if he is to leave in this January window, Aaron Ramsey. So potentially looking to raise money there. And so potentially they're looking to make a £30 million profit, because obviously when he was a lot younger in his prime and he began his career with Cardiff for 8 years, Aaron Ramsey, Arsenal paid £5 million for him for And, he has agreed to join Juventus now on a 5-year deal. He's going to be the second highest paid player, just behind Ronaldo. He's going to be getting £140,000 a week, I think. And he's going to get in, his annual salary is going to be about 7.2 million a season or something like that. He's Aaron Ramsey's, but he's been a good servant over the years. He's made over 300 other appearances in all competitions. He's scored 60 odd goals in all competitions. And he's a very, very good box-to-box midfield. And he's won 3 FA Cups with Arsenal. He scored in 2 of the finals as well. So he potentially, has grown and developed very, very well as Aaron Ramsey. And I think he'll fit in the Juventus team, very, very well. Aaron Ramsey. So obviously, Arsenal are in the market, to try and find a replacement. Because obviously, just like our objective, my club, Man United, this season is to get into the top 4. Arsenal's objective is to get into the top 4 because it's only Emery's first season. And as I did say, he needs a couple of windows, to bolster that team up if they are going to be potentially, future title contenders, as I currently said. But yeah, it's looking like, Aaron Ramsey's definitely leaving. He's going to Juventus. So obviously Arsenal will want a replacement. And if Ozil goes, Arsenal will want a replacement for him as well. And as I did say, they have got a few potential targets, they're interested in getting in, We know one of the main priority targets Arsenal's has been potentially Denis Suarez because he's been mentioned in the press quite a few times. And from Denis Suarez's perspective, Denis Suarez does want to make the move to Arsenal Football Club because he wants to reunite under Emery. Obviously, if he was to go to the Emirates, Arsenal fans obviously would want him to hit the ground running, would want him to grow and develop more, and, would want him to fit in the team well. And Arsenal had to think about where his best position would be in the Arsenal team, as I currently said, because he can play on the left, he can play on the right, he can play centrally, so his versatility is very, very good. But reportedly, he's ruled out a move of making a permanent move, for Denis Suarez. He reportedly said the Barcelona president has been in negotiations with Arsenal. Arsenal have been in negotiations with Denis Suarez's representatives about getting a 14-15 million deal over the line. He's under contract with Barcelona until 2020. He's 25 years of age, as I currently said. But Arsenal have been heavily linked to him. Arsenal have been inquiring about getting him on loan, and then probably maybe making the deal permanent, in the summer, depending on how he progresses. If he goes to Arsenal on loan. Barcelona seem to have softened the stance on this because there was once playing hardball at one time. But obviously, Arsenal want to see how he performs and see if he does fit in the team well and see if he does deliver the goods to Arsenal. And then obviously Arsenal then can make a decision, to make the deal permanent in the summer. But if they can sanction Mesut Ozil off, and they can raise some funds, into their club, potentially they may buy 1 or 2 players in this window, as I currently said. But Emery has confirmed he wants to sell Mesut Ozil because Mesut Ozil's out of favour, at the Emirates now. He's been there for 5 years. He's delivered the goods over the years. As I currently said, Arsenal paid 42.5 million for him, from Real Madrid, as I said, and he's well Premier League proven. As I said, Ozil, he's good when he was younger in his prime with Real Madrid and Werder Bremen, and actually began his career with Schalke, when he was a lot younger in his prime, Mesut Ozil. I think he's mainly attacking midfield and he fulfills that number 11 role, but he hasn't been getting the starts this season, and he's had a few injury problems as well, so he is potentially out of favour now at Arsenal Football Club. But as I did say, they have got good players. They've got that Terrari, who's very, very good for them. I think Terrari's a good player, and when he came on against West Ham at the weekend, he made a good impact. So did Ramsey when he came on the weekend. Even though he's leaving, he made an impact when he came on as well. But Arsenal did nothing until they brought them two substitutions on, as we all currently know. But we know that they've also been linked with that Yannick Carrasco. He's been mentioned in the press as well, but reportedly he's been linked with my club, Manchester United, as well. It says reportedly AC Milan have reportedly been interested in Yannick Carrasco as well. Reportedly from the players' perspective, he does want to reportedly make the move to Arsenal. Does this Yannick Carrasco? Reportedly, his wages, well, the current salary per year and week. His wages could be a concern for Arsenal because obviously Arsenal cannot match the wages he's currently receiving, in China with Delay and Yifang, as I currently said. But reportedly, the player was willing to offer a cut price deal. His current wife confirmed, are interested in him. Arsenal's interested in him. His current wife, as he said. But he's Yannick Carrasco. He's 25 years of age. He's Belgium. He is a winger. He's been in China nearly a year now. As I said, he previously had 2.5 year spell with Atletico Madrid. I think this Chinese club paid £27 million for Atletico Madrid. He actually began his senior career with Monaco as well. Did the play, and he played in his young career. Well, he began his youth career with Genka. Did this player as well. But reportedly, he's not a bad player. What I've seen of him, he can score goals. He can provide. Can this Yannick Carrasco? Arsenal have held negotiations over this. They have approached his current representatives over this of Arsenal for negotiating a potential deal for Yannick Carrasco. We know potentially they've been linked to that, Sevilla player, Ever Banega, who Emery has potentially, worked with on 2 occasions, so he's looking to reunite with Ever Banega. But I think Ever Banega is reluctant to leave Sevilla midway through the season. He's got an 18 million release clause in his contract with Sevilla, as I said, and he's supposedly a very, very good player. He's 30 years of age, as I said. He's Argentinian, is this Ever Banega? Reportedly, Arsenal have been in talks over this. Well, his representatives were in London the other week to negotiate a deal. Arsenal have been keen on getting him on loan, as I said, this Ever Banega. So that's been the narrative's been going on about that, in the last 3-4 weeks. I've been hearing about that Arsenal have been linked with Ever Banega because Unai worked for him at Sevilla, worked for him at Valencia as well when Ever Banega was, a lot younger in his prime, and potentially now he's at Sevilla, and this is his second spell with Sevilla. I think he had a season with Inter Milan as well. Did this Ever Banega, but yeah, Arsenal, are linked with quite a few players, as I currently said. So potentially he's looking to sanction Mesut Ozil off reportedly, as I did currently say, to raise some funds, because Arsenal have obviously not been getting the right amount of funds. This is why they haven't been competitive for so many years, Arsenal. I said Arsene Wenger did well, Arsenal, in his first 12 years he was fantastic, or his first 12, 13 years, and then, he went downhill. He wasn't spending enough money in the transfer markets. Arsenal fans were on his back, and then especially in the last stages of his career, managerial career, the Arsenal fans wanted him out, as we all know. They recommended change. They've got Unai. To be fair, it's only his first season. He's done well in his first season. He did go on a 22-match unbeaten run, but since then, Arsenal have seemed to have gone downhill, and a lot of Arsenal fans know where their problems are like. They are pretty biggish. They are still a pretty biggish club, to be quite honest. We are not their biggest club, but they are a big club, Arsenal. They have won quite a lot of trophies, over the years. As we all know, they've got a 60,000 capacity stadium, as I said, and the stadium is very, very static, I'm going to be very, very honest with you. But yeah, they have got problems, and obviously Emery is looking to address these problems and invest into the Arsenal squad by maybe, by selling Mesut Ozil, getting some cash in, and then maybe getting maybe get a signing in or two, because he did say he wants to get 1 or 2 signings in this January transfer window, as I did confirm to you guys. So that's potentially mainly Arsenal's transfer news. That's mainly Arsenal's transfer news to update you with, as I currently said. So we're going a bit more to Chelsea's transfer rumours now, guys. A few more stuff is updated about Chelsea transfer rumours, as we all know, because I did say to you guys, Sarri is looking to bolster his squad. Sarri's looking to bolster his squad. He's looking to invest into his squad, because as I did say to you guys, there's players that Chelsea are going to lose, as we all know. Potentially, it's looking like Batshuayi. He's going to be going on loan to Monaco for 6 months, as that has confirmed. It's looking like he's going to be going to Monaco for 6 months on loan. It's like Callum Hudson as well could be going. He's linked with Bayern Munich. As I did say, Chelsea obviously he's identifying a replacement for Fabregas as well. Is Sarri. David Luiz contract up in the summer. It looks like he could be going. As I did say as well, Gary Cahill is linked with a move to Fulham as well. Morata looks like he's going to be going. So he'll want replacements. Will Sarri. And one of the key areas he wants to strengthen up is his attacking position, because as I did say, Chelsea have been good on the ball. They can create chances. As we all currently know, but they're not scoring enough goals, and they need someone up front that's going to give them that firepower and guarantee them goals, as we all know. But we know Chelsea's main priority target has been Gonzalo Higuain, as we all know. Reportedly, Chelsea's main priority target has been Gonzalo Higuain, and the player, from his own perspective, is keen on making the move to Stamford Bridge. There's more things that I've updated about it, to be fair. He's keen on making the move to Stamford Bridge. As he did say, he's handed in the transfer request. He's officially told AC Milan he wants to leave, and he wants to join Chelsea in the Premier League, because of course he's a proven goal scorer, and of course he's never ever played in the Premier League. But as I did say, there has been negotiations going on. Chelsea have been in negotiation with Juventus and AC Milan over this, because he's initially on loan with AC Milan, because AC Milan had to pay £16 million fee to get him on loan. He hasn't been that consistent, and he's found his form very, very difficult at AC Milan. But AC Milan paid a £60 million fee with the obligation to make the deal permanent in the summer, for around £30 million. So we know Chelsea have been in heavy negotiations. Higuain's agent and his brother's been to London, to negotiate him about him potentially, making a move to Stamford Bridge, because Gonzalo Higuain has been keen on this. So recently, Chelsea have been in negotiations, with Juventus over this. reportedly there's been talks about an 18-month loan deal, reportedly from Juventus' perspective, they're not willing to let him go to Chelsea on loan this month. Well, some media reports have said that, but some media reports have now reported Juventus are willing to let him go on an 18-month loan deal to Chelsea worth about £48 million in the region, something like that. But the full narrative behind this is that reportedly Juventus, he said in one report, Juventus have blocked Higuain making the move to Chelsea, reportedly. Blocked the move to Chelsea, reportedly. A couple of reports have now suggested. One report said Juventus are keen on offloading him permanently, not letting him go out on loan, offloading him permanently. But now a couple of other reports have just come out regarding the situation that reportedly, according to the Italian press, it's just reported in caught offside, and the Metro have reported on it. It's potentially said that Juventus are open to letting Higuain go to Chelsea on an 18-month loan deal with £48 million in the region, and this is according to the Italian press, as we all know. So it will be an 18-month loan deal, potentially with £48 million, something like that, so just under 50 million. Chelsea, it said reportedly in the Metro, mentioned that Chelsea would be paying a 24 million loan fee, reportedly. 24 million for the loan, and currently his salary for 18 months while he's on loan at Chelsea. So reportedly that would add up to around £48 million, just below £50 million or something like that. So that's what's been recently updated in the media, because as we all know, he is keen on making the move to Chelsea's Gonzalo Higuain. There's been a lot of rumours going on about it. He did say Juventus, rejected the I think Juventus rejected the the Gonzalo Higuain and Alvaro Morata swap deal as well, because he's initially on loan at AC Milan, as we all know. But as I did say, the Chelsea director, as I did say, wants to block Chelsea making the move for him, because as I said, the Chelsea director and the Chelsea board have concerns with this, because obviously Chelsea have a policy of offering only 1-year contracts to players over the age 30, as we all know, and obviously Gonzalo Higuain's 31, and the director of Chelsea, has strong reservations about Chelsea paying a fee, for the player, that's a fee of around 30 odd million or whatever it is, for the player in the 30s. But initially, Chelsea, I think, wanted to get him on loan for an initial 6 months, and then probably make the deal permanent in the summer, which would have been about 30 odd million pounds. But there's been a change of scenario now. Reportedly, Juventus have let Gonzalo Higuain go on an 18-month loan deal to Chelsea with £48 million in the region. Chelsea will reportedly be paying a £24 million loan fee, plus his salary for in that 18-month period. So that potentially, adds up to like £48 million. But as I did say, Sarri's number one choice is Gonzalo Higuain, as we all know. And I think he'll deliver the goods to Chelsea. I think he'll be an exceptional player, for Chelsea, will Gonzalo. And I think he'll lead the lines very, very well, because, as I did say, great when he was younger in his prime. He had 6 good years with Real Madrid. He had 3 good years with Napoli. As I said, and he scored 36 goals in one season. Sarri's keen on reuniting with the player. And Chelsea have been heavily linked with him. As we all know, and he had 2 good years with Juventus as well. Actually, at the point, his transfer fees were the highest paid by an Italian club until, Ronaldo. I mean, he was actually the most expensive South American of all time until, obviously, Ronaldo made the move to Juventus as well. But Chelsea have been heavily into him. There's been a lot of negotiations going on between Chelsea and Juventus over this. Higuain's agent, we know, has been to London to negotiate this as well. And there will be more talks that will be happening between Chelsea and Juventus, because Chelsea want to finalise, want to come to an agreement, with Juventus and Milan, in this situation. So reportedly, it could be now an 18-month loan that he's going to be going to Stamford Bridge on an 18-month loan. That would cost in the region of, it's the 18 months loan worth £48 million in the region, 24 million for the loan fee plus his salary. So yeah, it's looking likely it could happen. The Spanish press were the first to report that reportedly he'd agreed personal terms to join Chelsea with Gonzalo Higuain, and he does want to make the move to Stamford Bridge as the Argentinian, and he would be fantastic. But as I said, Morata, it looks like definitely Alvaro Morata is leaving Stamford Bridge. As I said, there's been a few teams interested in Alvaro Morata. Milan's been one. AC Milan's been one. Barcelona's been one. Bayern Munich, the latest team, to be linked to him as well. And, Sevilla have been linked to him as well. And Sevilla have had negotiations of this. But reportedly, Chelsea are keen on sanctioning him out on a loan deal, Alvaro Morata, as we all know, because he hasn't delivered the goods to Chelsea. and he hasn't met the expectation levels at Stamford Bridge as Alvaro Morata, as we all currently know. And Chelsea paid £60 million for him in 2017, and he hasn't done that very well, and he's no longer Sarri's number one choice. He's fallen down the pecking order with Sarri, as we all know, and he's recently in the Premier League, Sarri been playing, Eden Hazard in a false number 9 position, and even Olivier Giroud is Sarri's first choice over Alvaro Morata, as we all know. So I think he's keen. I think he did say he did want to make the move to Barcelona. Barcelona have actually been keen on getting him on loan. Bayern Munich are the latest team, keen to be getting him as well. But he hasn't lived to expectations, at Chelsea. And, he hasn't led the lines that well. And potentially, he started off well when he first came to Chelsea in the 2017-18 season. Morata did well. But as I did say, he hasn't lived to expectation levels. So I think he's going to be going Alvaro Morata. I don't know where he's going to be going. But obviously they want Gonzalo Higuain as a potential replacement for him, as we all know. But as I did say to you guys, yes, so potentially Chelsea have got a few other options, if they don't get Gonzalo Higuain. Callum Wilson's been mentioned, who's done very, very well for Bournemouth. He said Chelsea were reportedly willing to pay $50 million. He's an alternative backup if they don't get Gonzalo Higuain. But I don't think, Eddie Howe's, willing to do any business and willing, to sanction Callum Wilson off. He's done well at Bournemouth, since he's been at Bournemouth. He scores goals and that, and he's proven himself very, very well under Eddie Howe, and Bournemouth know how much of an essential player he is. So it won't Callum Wilson, won't be going. I don't think he'll be going to Chelsea. There's been talks about Icardi as well. There's still monitoring, an interest in Inter Milan's Icardi as well. And Icardi's very, very good as well. Icardi and Gonzalo Higuain are both proven players. Obviously, Gonzalo Higuain's more experienced, as we all know. But as I did say, guys, they're both prolific goal scorers. Icardi's obviously younger than Gonzalo Higuain, but, potentially, they are proven goal scorers. Icardi scored over 100 goals since he's been at Inter Milan. I think he scored 130 odd in his whole playing career. I think the majority of them 130 odd, have been at Inter Milan, because he has been at Inter Milan a number of years now. He actually, I think he spent one season with Sampdoria, before he actually, went to Inter Milan, and he was very impressive in his season with Sampdoria. But Icardi's got around the 100 million release clause reportedly in his current contract with Inter Milan. He's Inter Milan's highest top goal scorer of all time, is Icardi as well. But he's been potentially, on Chelsea's agenda as well, as Icardi, as we all currently know. So there has been, a lot of talks going on about that. I think potentially Callum Hudson is also going to be leaving Chelsea as well. Well, I don't know. He's got 1.5 years left on his contract, I think. He hasn't been getting the game time this season. He's only in his prime, as I said. He is only 18 years of age. His Callum Hudson, as I said. Reportedly, Bayern Munich have been interested in him, because as I did say, Bayern Munich have got aging up players, and they are looking to get youth into their team. Bayern Munich as well. Wait there a minute, guys. Someone's ringing me up. Wait there, I've just been interfered. But as I currently said, Bayern Munich are looking to get youth into their team, as we all know. Reportedly so far, Chelsea have turned 3 bids down. Reportedly a fourth bid got put in of around £35 million. Bayern Munich have offered in the number 10 shirt, Callum Hudson, as we all currently know. I think he's keen on making the move to Munich. I think he'll go and develop in Germany, to be quite honest with you. But he's confirmed, I think his taller Chelsea director wants to leave in Callum Hudson, as we all currently know. So he could be leaving Chelsea as well. But potentially, as he did update you, that Chelsea are obviously in the market, to try and find a replacement for Fabregas, as we all know. As it has confirmed he's joined Monaco on a 3-year deal. Monaco have obviously not paid a fee for this, as I currently said, but he has joined Monaco on a 3.5-year deal. Fabregas has joined them, and as I said, so Chelsea now obviously, in the market to try and find their replacement. And obviously, the Telegraph reported the other day that Chelsea have agreed deals for both Nicola Barella, Cagliari midfielder, and what's his name, Leandro Paredes, the Zenit St Petersburg midfielder. So they are two Chelsea targets they have been linked with, to replace Cesc Fabregas, as I said. But obviously, I think Cagliari are reluctant to let Nicola Barella, leave midway through this season. He is only 21 years of age, as is Nicola Barella. As I said, he's got a good wide range of skills. His versatility in the midfield is very, very good because he can operate anywhere in the midfield. As I currently said, Chelsea have made inquiries about it. Chelsea have been linked with the player, as we all know, Nicola Barella. He's got a contract with Cagliari, I think, until 2022. He is Italian. He's only young in his prime. He is 21 years of age. I think he's got a lot of good physical attributes as this player. But reports are stemming out from the media that this Leandro Paredes reportedly looks more likely for Chelsea than Nicola Barella, because reportedly this Leandro Paredes is 24 years of age. He's obviously 3 years older than Nicola Barella, so obviously he's more experienced than Nicola Barella. Is this Leandro Paredes? He's a Zenit St Petersburg midfielder. He's 24 years of age. I think he's keen on making the move to Chelsea in this January transfer window, because he has admitted, sorry, that Jorginho is struggling in the midfield with, obviously, without Fabregas there. So he wants someone, to operate, alongside him, in that midfield, as we all know. So Leandro Paredes has been mentioned. Reportedly, the press were reporting Chelsea submitted around the £30 million bidding for him. Chelsea have been in negotiations with Zenit St Petersburg. Chelsea have been in negotiations with Zenit St Petersburg over this, so they have held talks over this. He's 24, but reportedly suggestions have stirred up in the media, because reportedly he's retweeted welcome to Chelsea video on his social media website Twitter. So he's posted a welcome to Chelsea video on Twitter reportedly, and he's gained a lot of Chelsea fans' attention on this. He's put them, excited and stuff like that, because the majority of Chelsea fans have seen what he's put on Twitter. This Leandro Paredes, and I think he's keen on making the move to Stamford Bridge, because he does. I don't think he no longer wants to play for Zenit St Petersburg, as he currently said, but he is at Zenit St Petersburg now. He's an ex-Roma player. I think he began his youth career with Boca Juniors, when he was actually, a lot younger in his prime, the player as well. I think Zenit St Petersburg paid around £23 million for him from Roma, and I think he signed like a 4-year deal or something like that. I think he's still, has he got 3 years left on his deal, or something like that. It might be 2 years now left on his current contract, that he did sign with Zenit St Petersburg. But yeah, so Chelsea have been heavily linked to him. So Chelsea, hopefully, from their perspective, want to get a deal over the line, because he's desperate to find a replacement for Cesc Fabregas. Is Sarri, as we all know. And potentially, yeah, so really, that's really about it to update you with. Potentially, as I did say, David Luiz looks like he's going, in the summer when his contract expires. It's looking like Gary Cahill's going to be leaving as well. So I think he may want a defender. He may want to strengthen his defensive line, Sarri, as well. As I did update you, there's been talks about Nathan Ike as well. He's been mentioned in the media. Bournemouth player, ex-Chelsea player in his younger days. Well, he's 23, so he's still young in his prime. But I said when he was a lot younger in his prime, he began his youth career with Chelsea. Played for them at the age of 16 years of age. Did the play. He went on loan deals with Reading and Watford. Did the play as well. And Chelsea sold him for £20 million to Bournemouth, I think, in 2017. So I think this is his second season with Bournemouth. His Nathan Ike. He's reportedly, done very, very well since he's been at Bournemouth. He didn't make an impact at Chelsea, when he was there young in his prime. Did Nathan Ike. He's got a lot of good physical attributes. His versatility is very, very good, because he can operate as a defensive mid, a centre-back and a full-back. I think predominantly he's a central defender, and obviously Chelsea will probably see him as a good replacement for David Luiz and all that. Obviously, Gary Cahill could be going as well. But reportedly, it did say Chelsea are looking to activate his £40 million buyout clause, reportedly. Chelsea do have the buyback option of £40 million, so potentially Chelsea could be paying £20 more than they initially sold him for to Bournemouth, as we all know. But they're looking to do this in the summer. It said in the Metro, they're looking to activate his £40 million buyout clause, because Chelsea inserted a buyback clause. They inserted a buyback clause in current Nathan Ike's contract, as we all currently know. But yeah, they're looking to activate his £40 million buyback clause, or buyout clause, however you pronounce it. So yeah, we will see what happens with that. So that's mainly everything to update you today. As I did say, that's all the transfer rooms to keep you up to date with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel, guys. If you do consider